for those that are not familiar with Indian languages, the Indian construct where Mainak and I both grew up, you would gather at the tea stall and have conversations. You would call that place an ADDA. And in Mainak's book, I fell off my chair laughing because those are the words. That's the acronym he picks up. So Mainak, talk about your ADDA framework, or ADDA framework.
Yeah, so I'd say first of all, Gaurav, I was laughing when I wrote it because I'm not a guy who's big on frameworks and theories and making 4x4 models. I normally laugh at stuff like that. Because I'm somebody who believes that much of learning that you get in life is by sharing stories. It's by sharing your experiences with others and learning from others' experiences and then distilling it to see what does this mean for me. So that was kind of why I picked ADDA. It's because the whole tonality is not, me being a quote unquote expert dispensing wisdom. It's more of a conversation among friends who have gathered over tea and who are chatting about stuff that's on their minds. So that was kind of the tonality I wanted to set. So the ADDA framework is really about the four things I think that really are critical in building personal brand. The first, which we've talked about a bit, is really being authentic and purpose-driven, which is really understanding who you are, what you're passionate about, and how you bring that to life. The first D is really about being differentiated. And I think this is an important thing for people because especially when I started chatting with a lot of these young people tend to define their identities by the degree they have or the business card they have or where they're working. And, that's not unimportant, that is a part of it, but people kind of stop there. And then we said, look, if you're applying for a job or if you're thinking of a change moment in your career, there are almost everybody applying for that probably has a similar degree or similar set of experiences. What actually differentiates you? And that's a core concept in branding, which is, if you're a detergent powder, of course you got to clean clothes. If you're a mobile phone, of course you have to have connectivity and make a call. But that's not how people build brands. You don't say, I'm going to sell you the latest mobile phone. Guess what? You can call your friends, right? Nobody says that. You talk about things that differentiate you. And that's, I think, the second construct is thinking of, look, what actually sets me apart? And that's usually quite linked to the first part, which is who am I as a person? What are my unique passion points? And how do I bring that to life? The third one in the model, which is the second D, is delivering at the moments of truth. And again, the reason I found this interesting is that for a lot of people, when you talk of delivering, again, in the kind of broad corporate culture we're in, they think, okay, got it. Delivering means I have a target and I deliver it. Yes, but there's more to it. And that's why I kind of use the concept of moments of truth, which is something we can chat about more, but it's really about how is a brand built? How does a consumer or a stakeholder experience a brand? And typically people talk about the zero moment of truth is you form perceptions even before you go to a shelf or you think you need a category. In the context of brands, you might be browsing on Amazon or looking up on Google. In the context of people, you're probably looking them up on LinkedIn. So you form perceptions of people even before you actually come across them. So are people conscious of how they're building the social brand? The first moment of truth is when you come across people face to face in an interview, on a virtual setting, across an office meeting. And, again, people are usually conditioned to saying success is, I have the answers, I know my facts. That's important. The big lesson that I wanted to share with people is that there's a ton of research out there which shows it's much more about your tone, your body language, how you're generating a connection with people you're engaging with. The second moment of truth is the results you deliver. And again, the important thing there is understanding expectations that people have of you. And then the final A in the model is about adaptability, which I think is really critical, especially in the world we live in today, which is you take your core passions and purpose, understand how you're differentiating yourself, but importantly, understand how the world around you is changing, understand how you are changing, and understand how you need to pivot. You talked of businesses pivoting. I think it's the same for us as people. We need to continually reinvent ourselves, learn new skills. For me as an example, last few books I've written have been about zombies, snipers, terrorists. For me, pivoting in my own mind and realizing, look, it's probably more important now for the world around me to share some of these things that I've been chatting with these people about versus writing another thriller.